During the Vietnam conflict, Mexican Americans were extraordinarily vulnerable to the draft.
Every other male that I knew growing up was a Vietnam veteran.
The lower your education, the worse your English, the more likely you are to carry a gun into the field.
We were grunts. We saw firsthand a lot of action.
We just wanted the war to stop. We had a high proportion of Latinos dying in that war.
San Jose, it's very nice to be here, and I hope that everybody tunes in on September 22nd to watch On Two Fronts.
Elements of things that, because we're of an age that we saw exactly, that was history unfolding in front of our eyes, and how it affected our families.
I've seen so many pictures of her, of course, in the news.
Well, and it just all came rushing back thanks to Ramon. No, actually, my mother passed away last year, and going through her house, we had all these pictures.
Yeah.
And there's the pictures from 1964 of Dainty in the front page of the Chronicle, holding a picture of Everett.
Right.
They all start with
It's beautiful.
with Armistice Day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Centrical. It was.
I saw a couple of the magazine covers.
Yeah, they're little magazines, but they meant a lot to the community.
Yeah.
Because it was a way for the community to validate themselves and support themselves, and well, where I grew up too, if you had a quinceañera, if you had a this or that, it came out in the paper. And ours, it was a paper, but theirs was a little bit more high class.
Yeah.
They had a magazine called El Excentrico, so
That's neat.
it chronicled a lot of history. That was kind of nice.
That's really
And it
great.
really shows the cohesive nature of the community too. That, it was a focal point of a community in this area that was growing, but still yet maintain these roots,
Does it document the earlier sort of CSO
Oh, yeah.
activism and stuff?
Yes.
That I would love to do
Yeah.
something
Yeah, it's got all the CSO. I'll send you this. That's what I'll send you on the email.
I'm Fernando Zazueta. I was the chairman of the board of the Mexican Heritage Corporation that built this particular location, the Plaza del Patrimonio Mexicano, which we call the Mexican Heritage Plaza. Anyway, tonight's film of Latinos in Vietnam, I thought was very informational and very emotional, very touching. I think it made it much more personal for the Latinos in this country, and maybe it'll give opportunity to the non-Latinos to understand a little bit more about what it meant to us, our people, our community, to have been involved in this conflict, which, like somebody said, was the most divisional war since the Civil War that split the country apart. So it's a sad and depressing film at the same time as it is emotional and informational.
Well, Mark Sanchez. I'm a local member here of the El Excentrico Project, and I came to the Latinos in Vietnam screening here. My family was part of the story there, Everett Alvarez and Delia Alvarez. It was a little emotional because it relived a whole lot of the family stuff that we went through during that period. Had some great archival footage that I have frankly never seen in my life that the director came up with. And all in all, kind of an eye-opening project.
I am Gregorio Mora-Torres, professor at San Jose State. We have just finished viewing the film Latinos in Vietnam. I overall think that it's a very good film. It's fantastic because it covers, a lot of the Latinos in Vietnam from the Bay Area. You have fantastic two individuals that basically represent the differences in the war between Chicanos. Delia Alvarez, who was the anti-war activist, who was trying to get her brother free, and obviously Everett Alvarez, who was the typical American patriot who continues to believe in the war, even though he became a prisoner of war. And eventually they ended up that even though they're they disagree politically in the war, they're still family.
My name is Monte Carlos, and I came to see the viewing of Latinos in Vietnam, which struck close to home. A family who served in Vietnam, and everything that was said struck very close chord with the things that I experienced and my family experienced.